Do I sound fine?
Yeah. Hey, everybody, it's Monday night. It's Always Bookin Comedy. We got Dustin Fawcett in chilly Duluth, Minnesota. It's so cold there, the Christmas trees are growing indoors, it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah. How are you, sir?
Good. I mean, I wasn't feeling very good this morning, so I took the day off of work, so that's why you got me in my PJs over here. So
Okay, well, I appreciate you fighting through. Good for you, man. Dustin runs some stuff in Duluth, Minnesota. We recently collaborated on a terrific show in
yeah.
Grand Rapids, Minnesota. I got a semi-viral short out today about it titled Grand Rapids, Minnesota. So everybody check that out on this channel. So I think we were going to talk about you're thinking about starting a comedy festival maybe in Duluth. So maybe we can talk about that some.
Yeah. That is the goal. So Twin Ports Comedy is a collection of comics in the area that wanted to do more and kind of grow the scene. So we have been doing that, turned it into a nonprofit organization, looking to get some grants and some funding, and then eventually get a comedy festival going on.
How do you become a nonprofit? I've heard there's a lot of paperwork involved.
There's a ton of paperwork. We had somebody that that's what he does for a living. He helped us out with it. So we had to go through a bunch of different processes, creating a board, and then kind of voting on different things for it. So,
you know, is it different in different states, or is it like a national kind of thing?
I'm pretty sure it's different depending on where you're at. Okay. So he had done a lot of work in Minnesota with a lot of different nonprofits, so he was able to help us out. And
how long did that process take you all?
A few months, to be honest. We had been meeting, even though we hadn't officially become a nonprofit yet, for like 4 months before, and now we're just like in the process of getting everything kind of finalized and whatnot. So that part's really exciting.
Fun, cool. Mm-hmm. So why did you decide to do that? What are the advantages?
Well, to be able to get grants and funding is a big thing, especially when we want to do something like a comedy festival. And I guess the whole goal behind it is to help comics in our area to be able to do more and then build comedy throughout upper Minnesota. Because once you get past the cities, I mean, you know, Duluth, there's only so much. So we want to try and grow that to be able to get to a lot of people that don't get to go to comedy shows. Like, obviously, when we went to Grand Rapids, they had a great time and they were excited to come out. That's because things like that don't get up there very often.
Yeah, that was wild. 77 people came out and it was negative 20 degrees outside. Unbelievable. Thank you, Grand Rapids, Minnesota. You all cool.
And that's without the wind chill too. So who knows? It could have been even.
Yeah, for sure colder. The night before in Duluth, it was negative 25, negative 49 with the wind chill. So just for anybody who's listening to this and doesn't know, Duluth is in northern Minnesota, and in Grand Rapids even farther north than Duluth. Tell me so Twin Ports Comedy, what are the Twin Ports? Duluth must be one of them.
Duluth and Superior. So
Superior, Wisconsin. It's in a different state. So how do you handle that? You're like a multi-state organization, or you're a Minnesota-based organization and it happens to run comedy in Wisconsin?
Yeah, so we're based in Duluth, but it's kind of just like the Twin Cities. We call it the Twin Ports up there, just because we are right next. It's just a bridge apart. So
which port is better? Is there a difference between the two?
So whatever side you're on is basically what you're gonna say is the better one. That's kind of the running joke is. Basically, if you go to Duluth for a comedy show, you can just make fun of Superior and pretty much every joke will work. And same thing, if you go across the bridge and just make fun of Duluth and Superior, it's going to work. So,
but like, is there an actual difference between the ports? Like, does one traffic in coal and the other in fentanyl or whatever? You know, like what? Like, I don't know, beans?
Definitely Superior with the fentanyl.
Okay. What, like, because I've seen the first time I ever went to Duluth, it was the summer, and people were like, "You got to go down to the harbor and look at the boats, the big boats." And I'm like, I've seen a boat before. I don't need to do this. And then I went down to the harbor, and there's like 300 people there, and this boat shows up. It was like the opening of Star Wars with that enormous ship coming across. I mean, this thing, it could have been a mile long. It was really cool. I was like an 8-year-old boy all of a sudden. I was very impressed with the big boats. But like, where is that thing going? Is there an actual port in Duluth and a different one in Superior? Do they go to both? Do they like?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really know a whole lot about the shipping and receiving side of it, but we definitely are a port. Our boats come in quite often, bringing who knows what, and then taking out. I know.
I should have said cheese before. In Wisconsin, you'd be picking up cheese.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm not really sure what all. I know taconite was a big thing for a while, but obviously that isn't quite. We're not back in that age quite.
Okay.
Anymore.
Now we just post this. Somebody online is saying I just want to remind everybody that this is live and you can ask questions. We are talking about comedy shows, comedy producing, festivals, etc. So when did you start getting involved in Twin Ports? Is it something you started or you joined or?
Yeah, I got started with comedy right after COVID, and it kind of seemed like, I don't know if you noticed that out there as well, but after COVID, we had a huge influx of people that wanted to try comedy and a huge influx of people that wanted to watch comedy.
Yeah.
And we just happened, I don't know how the cards just fell correctly, but we had a bunch of really talented people all start comedy around the exact same time. Which helped really boost the scene, and then we had a bunch of people that had a lot of ambition to try and grow it, and then that's where the name Twin Ports Comedy came in, was to again create the unity together. And that was Patrick DeGeest, I believe, is the one who originally came up with.
Oh yeah, Patrick's great, but he moved to Florida, right? He abandoned you all. He went to a different port.
That's the thing. He still helps produce shows up here in and Brainerd. Yep. So he's still doing a lot. I'm going to be going down there next month for his wedding. So.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a lot warmer down there, I'm sure, than up here. So.
Yeah. All right. We got a question from online. Do either regret getting into comedy as a job? Well, let me tell you, when I was recently in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and it was negative 20 degrees in northern Minnesota in January, there was a tinge of regret. But then I got inside and, almost 80 people, and it was a super fun show. And yeah, I mean, yes, it ebbs and flows. It is definitely a roller coaster. I can give you a very specific example. Today's Monday, February 2nd. Last Thursday, I ran a show in Vail, Colorado. I was the host. I was I just sat a bunch of people and was working the door and had set up the lights and the sound and, worked very hard. And a lady came up to me 1 minute before I was going on stage and said, hey, I don't know who runs this thing. And side note, it's me. She doesn't know this. I don't know who runs this thing, but they did a terrible job promoting it. I'm a comic from Manhattan. And I was beside myself. I was furious. I was so angry. And I had to go up on stage and be fun and silly. And I was not fun or silly. I was so mad. The first minute of my set, I just asked people how they heard about the show. They're like, newspaper article, email, Facebook ad, Instagram ad. I'm like, this room is full. I did a fine job promoting this show. Thank you very much. So sometimes people are entitled and not very fun audience members. And that's probably when I most regret doing comedy. But I would say that's really the minority of the time. A lot of times it's a lot of people that are really grateful and really happy to have an excuse to escape some of the harsh realities and just be silly and laugh and have some drinks and have a good time. And I love every ounce of that part of comedy. How about you, Dustin? You ever regret getting into comedy as a job?
Oh, when you have a real bad bomb, that'll do it. And also, I mean, I guess I got two different stories. I did one of the biggest corporate events that I did. When we went in there, I talked with the guy that was putting it on, and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, PG-13 is PG-13's okay?" And he said, "Oh yeah, no problem at all." So I got up there, and I think one of my jokes, I say the word boner, and I lost the crowd immediately after that, and it was so hard, and I had no idea how to get them back after that, because it was very they were very stuffy after that. And then the other side of it is, do you ever get people that come up to you and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got to put me on a show. I could definitely do a show," like after you've already done it, like, "Yeah, put me on there. You know, I got tons of jokes about crap in my pants, and like I could be so good. Just give me like 20 minutes." And you're like,
Yeah.
Go to an open mic first.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do a lot of small town shows, and I tell people to, go to a big city, find an open mic. If you can't find one, every year during the Vail Comedy Festival, which is Memorial Day weekend in late May, we do a show up showcase, which is basically an open mic every day of the festival. And so people up in the mountains, I say, write some jokes. You got until May, depending on what time of year it is. That can be a pretty long runway. And I show up, and they never do. Very rarely, maybe once in the last 4 years has somebody actually shown up who gave me that little request at a show, and I told them to come to an open mic. There we go. Where are you, Game Changer 5450? We'd love to know. I'm gonna take that off. All right, let's talk some more about Duluth comedy. What's the biggest show you have organized or been a part of?
So right now, the week after we did the Grand Rapids show, I did a show in Cloquet, which is just 15, 20 miles outside of Duluth, like heading south towards the cities. And they have a great event space, and we had 100 people at that one. And that was that's lower than what they expect. But with everything going on, Pedro's is obviously a Mexican restaurant, so they did have some issues with things, but they plan for the rest of those to be a lot better in the 150 to 180 range. So
wow,
that's really exciting. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Any tricks or anything that surprised you doing a big show like that?
No, everybody did really well. The audience was definitely there to have a good time. And then just making sure to market it correctly, which I mean, I know trying to get out there, spend some money with marketing, and also just continue to plug is a big help with that. So, and then obviously if you can get the venue to help you out as well, even just by sharing the event, that helps out a ton. So
yeah, awesome. We'll talk more about that in a second. Game Changer 5450 is in Tennessee. I go to Chattanooga about once a year, Game Changer, and usually roll through Nashville as well. Bachelorette Central out there.
yeah.
Bachelorette Party Central. Dustin, you travel much?
Not
for comedy?
Mainly in the Midwest is where I've been trying to obviously reach out and get a little bit further, but as you know, it does take time, and in comedy years, I'm still fairly young. Only having 4 years under my belt. So
okay, we got another question from Game Changer. We're loving these, Game Changer. Thanks for keeping this interactive. Either one of you ever told a joke that didn't go well or that you regretted doing in certain eras? Well, Dustin already told his corporate boner joke experience. I would say back when I was newer at comedy, I did a show in Beulah, Montana, I believe. It was a bowling alley. I think Beulah, somebody looked that up. It's like a town of 800 or 2,000, very small place. And I had a closer at the time that mentioned NPR, which is a radio program that I thought everybody in the world knew what NPR was. And in Denver, the joke did very well. But in Beulah, nobody laughed. And I stopped in the middle of my closer and mentioned that I asked, does anybody here know what NPR is? And like a room of 50 to 100 people, nobody had heard of NPR. I was just flabbergasted. And I had kind of a similar experience where I used to have some jokes that made fun of Walmart. And then I would go to very small towns where like Walmart is an exciting thing. It's like,
yeah, don't you talk shit about Walmart.
yeah. People would drive 3 hours to go to a Walmart, and it's amazing. It's like their Disney World. And it was pretty disrespectful for me to make fun of Walmart. So there's a couple of examples. So yes is the answer. And yeah, that happens pretty, I would say something like that comes up kind of on the regular. You touch on a hot topic issue, or you bring up something that somebody cares. You're making fun of something, but people get sensitive about it or whatever. And that's why you do this, and you get a lot of reps, and you learn over time what jokes travel well and work in different markets.
Well, exactly. I was going to say the exact same thing. I had a joke that I still tell, but I have, because of some poor reactions that I've gotten from one of the punchlines, I've changed it, and now it does well everywhere.
Nice.
So going through that, it sucks at the time, but then you learn how to kind of change those things up and make it better.
Yeah. Let's talk about that Grand Rapids show a little bit from your perspective. I know my perspective. What do you think of the show? What could have been improved? What went well? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. I thought it was a great show. Everybody seemed to have a good time that I talked with. They enjoyed themselves. I think we got everything set up really nicely there as well. And obviously the venue was happy to help with whatever they could as well. To be honest, there's not a whole lot.
The venue was awesome. They were really great. Rapids Brewing, by the way. Rapids Brewing in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. I'm going to post the short that came out today on my YouTube channel. Just coincidental timing. It's from the Mark and Jake Try to Make It podcast, and we were discussing my very chilly time in northern Minnesota a few weekends ago. Hard to think of ways to improve. I think the seating could have been better. Like maybe we get rid of some of those round tables.
They took up a lot of space.
Yeah, maybe we could have added some more chairs in that case, although we didn't really have the ticket sales to take advantage of that. I thought the lighting was great. The sound was great. I did forget to start my Zoom audio recorder, and I had to like sneak up through the audience. And I wouldn't say interrupt the show, but I would definitely, it wasn't ideal mid show to go up there and hit start. And
yeah, I think I got a picture of you hunching down.
Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah. And other than that, I guess maybe bring more posters for me, because I sold out of these posters that I personalized for people that were just perfect. I had them done by an illustrator. He hand drew this like cartoon image of me hanging from an ice cave with a big Yeti. And at the time, when I commissioned it, I didn't know it was going to be so freezing cold. Like so cold that when I got off the plane in Duluth, there was snow in the jet bridge.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was crazy. Game Changer is really firing away with these questions. Game Changer, are you a comedian, or are you just like a fan of comedy? You found this randomly? We're happy to answer that. Our top comedians. Dustin, I'll let you go first if you want.
What was the question?
Comics that have inspired you. Aside from Mark Masters, obviously.
Ralphie May, he was a big one. I loved Ralphie May. I used to watch Last Comic Standing when that came out. I loved that show, and everybody on there, I just thought it was so good. Dave Chappelle, I've loved Dave Chappelle for a long time. Nate Bargatze, I think he is just an amazing writer. Like sometimes I just, it amazes me how he can just simply talk about life in general, and it's just funny. It's
just won the Grammy last night for Best Comedy Album 2025.
He's killing it.
Yeah, he's the best. So Ralphie May, his ex-wife now, is Lonnie something or other. Lana Turner, Lahna Turner. And she does comedy still. She lives in LA. She would come out to Minnesota. I've done shows with her in Colorado, and she's got a lot of Ralphie May stories, obviously.
That'd be awesome.
All right. I get the pressure's on. Game Changer liked Dustin's answers. I'm going to go real unique. First off, I just worked with this woman, Carla Clay, Clay. She's out of the Bay Area. Nobody's ever heard of her. She's barely on social media. She's been doing comedy like 20 years. She's a favorite at the Punchline in San Francisco, which is a big comedy club there. I saw her do 4 nights. She did an hour each night, and she is so damn funny. She is incredible. So Carla Clay, and she inspired me. The thing that she inspired me to do is you've heard about comics having a voice and like a unique perspective. Mm-hmm. And she has such, like, within 2 minutes of being on stage, you know exactly who she is. And she can make things funny that on paper aren't funny. Mm-hmm. You know, like just saying certain words because you know her character once you've hung out with her for half an hour. She can get a huge laugh, big reaction. And that's something that I aspire to get to that point where people can know who I am. You know, who knows what that is? I'm a crabby old guy who's annoyed by young people. That seems to be what I've been leaning into recently. I don't exactly know what it is yet, but I want to find it. So number 1, Carla Clay. Number 2, Gary Goldman, incredible joke writer. If you haven't watched 50 States, there's a version from Conan that's online. I think one of the best bits that's ever been written. He allegedly worked on it for 19 years before he finally got that joke to work. So very interesting. Gary Goldman. And I got to come up with a third. Oof. What's I got one exactly for Game Changer. What is her name? Amber Autry, Autry. She started comedy in Chicago, but she's from Tennessee and she lives in Nashville now, or a suburb of Nashville. She is incredible. So funny. Works at a Zanies, so maybe Game Changer can go check her out sometime. Amber Autry, Autry. Very popular on social media, tons of content online, has a Don't Tell taping, has a Dry Bar special. So you can definitely watch her stuff. I don't know how you find Carla Clay's stuff, but if you travel to San Francisco, you could look her up. Yeah, great question.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Oh, so Game Changers got his. He's got Ron White, Sam Kinison, and Richard Pryor. Yeah, he likes the yelling for the first 2. Who's a good yeller? J.C. Correas. You might like him. Look him up. Currais. And then on the like a female version of those, maybe Caitlin Peluffo, Peluffo, originally from the Bay Area, now in New York City. Super funny. Was a headliner of Vail Comedy Festival. Dustin, is something about to fall on your head? I'm worried for you. You keep looking up.
No, I got another monitor over here, so I'm looking. So like I was looking up some of I popped in Gary Goldman just to kind of take a look and see what else.
Oh, okay. All right. You're like our show producer here.
I'm also looking at some of the things that you guys are saying.
Yeah, Gary Goldman's amazing. You'll like him, Dustin, if you like Nate Bargatze, and he's been doing it forever. He's one of the best. He's got this incredible, like, around the pandemic time, he wrote a comedy tip every day for a year on Twitter. And Vulture compiled them all together. And they're all, like, I would say there's 365 of them. I'd say like 325 of them are very good, like really helpful tips. So that's definitely worth checking out where you are in comedy. So, okay, let's talk about, I don't know, you got any questions for me, or you want to talk some more about Twin Ports comedy?
Oh, geez. Well, actually, the nice thing going up there with you, I also spoke with Rapids Brewing about doing other shows in the future and things like that. So it was super beneficial for me because they are interested in doing things up there as well, spreading them out to make sure it's not a ton of people up there, but to be able to still bring comedy up to them and get them some some laughs and some good times. And the whole goal with Twin Ports Comedy is, like I said, to keep growing it and kind of branch out, and then who knows where that could lead. You know, it doesn't, I don't believe it has to be just something that's based in Minnesota. I think it could go further than that and start reaching out across the U.S. in general. So
yeah, always expanding. The incredible Dustin Fawcett. Reaching back to that Gary Goldman Daily Tips thing from North Carolina. That was a great resource. I saved it. Yeah, he's awesome. He's headlining Traverse City Comedy Festival. It might have a name different than that, but I always had a conversation about that in Minnesota. I think Traverse City is in Michigan, but general part of the country. Yeah, so this is a funny episode because Dustin and I spent about 3 hours in a car together going up and back from Duluth to Grand Rapids, and he basically asked every question you could possibly ask about show running, and that was about 2 weeks ago. So we've kind of already. Do you want to recap anything or ask for clarification on any questions that you threw my way?
Well, I mean, like you said, I did. I knew I was going to pick your brain about that too, because I've heard lots of good things about the festival that you run, and yeah, it's something that I'm excited for us to do. So it was good getting some tips about basically how to get comics to sign up for it, how to kind of spread it out. I know we had talked about, you know, trying to have it all in one condensed area rather than across the city, and how some things like that would look, which we do have an area I think that would work perfect for that. And then also talking to you about having one of the venues that has been a real big supporter of us, not being super close to that, but still trying to include them in it as well. And then timing, I guess, would be the biggest thing, because I don't know how the weather is consistently over in Denver, but winter time is the best time for comedy up here because it's too cold to do anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Summer stinks countrywide. Okay. Nobody likes to go out for comedy in the summer.
And so then that's the other part of it is, in summertime it's already difficult to get people to get away from their cabins or the beach or whatever else they're doing. But if you can coordinate it with another big event going on, potentially that could make sense. Or if you just stick to what works and wait for it to get cold and do the comedy festival then. So
yeah, I would say there used to be Snow Jam. We talked about this Snow Jam in South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and they did a winter. It was like January or February, which is a miserable time to be in South Dakota. So it's tricky because comics don't really want to go. But plenty of comics are hungry for stage time. They'll show up, and the audiences will be great. So I would say winter is probably your friend for comedy festival timing. And then the geographic thing you're discussing, just for everybody else's benefit, what I was saying was that if, a lot of comics fly in, they don't have their own cars, they're from different places. Walkable comedy festivals are my favorite comedy festivals. When you can walk to your hotel, walk to a venue, go back to your hotel for a nap, go to a different venue. That's a huge benefit. And most festivals can't make that happen. There's you got to get a car, borrow a car, etc. Okay, it looks like we only have about 1 minute left, Game Changer. So you're gonna have to tune in next Monday. We'll have a new guest. Have either one of you ever been not allowed somewhere because of your comedy or any other reason? If y'all are still answering, oof. I mean, I'm a pretty clean comedian, and also fairly white, as you can see. So I haven't been excluded from any country clubs and or shows. I'm trying to think. I mean, I just did a black room for the first time in 2025. I didn't. Sometimes they're called urban shows. There were 300 people at this comedy club, and I was one of 2 white people in the whole place, and that was super fun. No, I can't think of a time. I mean, I've gotten offered gigs where I haven't felt 100% comfortable and declined them. I'm trying to think of a good example right now. Like I once got offered a gig for a political fundraiser that I didn't think I'd be a good fit for, because I don't know, I don't have any rah-rah jokes about the politics that they were trying to raise money for. I got invited to do a Jewish show, which means I'm a Goya, I think is the right word. I think I'm saying that right. That's a non-Jew. And that was plenty of fun. They were very warm and welcoming. So I would say more than anything, comedy has brought me into new areas and helped me see things from new perspectives. And yeah, that is a great question. You got any?
I've never ran into anything like that. Basically just turning down stuff that I didn't feel like I could give them exactly what they wanted. 100% clean show. It's sometimes that, I mean, it's tough. You're working towards having, that.
Yeah, to have a lot of time that's super clean is difficult. I have actually more recently become more comfortable providing bids for dirty shows. I used to basically say no to dirty shows, but over the years I've assembled a number of dirty jokes that I like. I just rarely tell them on stage. So now I feel like I can put some dirty in the beginning, dirty at the end, and fill it with clean in the middle, and nobody will really complain. Game changer, never stop, man. Never stop changing. Thanks for tuning in from Tennessee. You were a blast. We're glad you were here, and tune in next Monday and check out the Mark and Jake Try to Make It podcast, and check out Dustin Fawcett. Where can people see you, Dustin?
Facebook or Instagram, Dusty Fa on Instagram, or Leaky Fawcett Comedy on Facebook.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next Monday on Always Bookin Comedy. Thanks for joining us, Dustin Fawcett. Stick around.